Getting a Division I scholarship is nearly impossible. The odds of getting a Division I scholarship are 1.5%. If you waste 1 year in the recruiting process, then you're gonna miss out on a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity worth tens of thousands of dollars. I went through the recruiting process myself and went from a high school backup quarterback to a college football quarterback myself, earning myself over $500,000 in total scholarship money. Now I help families navigate this complex process with ease. To date, we've worked with close to 200 families and have earned them over $20 million in scholarship money, with over 40 of those families receiving a Division I scholarship. And in this video, I'm gonna show you the complete breakdown of how to go from freshman year to signing that Division I scholarship. Now, when I started the recruiting process, I was completely lost. I had this overwhelming desire to play at the next level and live my dreams, but I had no idea how to actually do it. It wasn't until going into my junior year I started to realize that recruiting is its own separate game. To get a scholarship, you have to be a good player. There's no doubt about that. But you also have to be a great marketer, because a good player that no one knows about will stay hidden, while a decent player that everyone knows about will get scholarships. And when I had that realization, that's when everything changed for me. I went from 0 conversations to starting to talk to the schools of my dreams. And if I had realized this sooner and not had waited so long, I couldn't imagine what would have happened. So first, let's start with freshman year. This is the foundational year. You shouldn't be doing anything too major recruiting wise here. The best 3 things you can do as a freshman are simple. Number 1, get video. Your video is the lifeblood of your recruiting, because coaches need proof. They're not going to be able to offer you a scholarship worth tens of thousands of dollars if they don't have a reason to believe you're going to be worth it. Now, what a lot of families get messed up is that they think that only varsity film will do, but that's just not true. Yes, varsity film is what gets you offers, unless you're Saquon Barkley, but JV film or even freshman film will still get you attention. For myself, I was able to get recruited by San Jose State, even though I only had JV film. They told me specifically, hey, we like what we see, but we can't do much right now with just JV film. Get us some varsity film this season and we'll go from there. Now, you may think that's a waste of time, but it's not, because now you have a leg up on everyone else. The coaches know who you are, they like you, and are just waiting to see what you look like against higher levels of competition. Compare this to the other recruit who waits to get the varsity film, and then when they send it, they're starting from ground zero, while you're starting with a relationship already in place. Second thing you want to do as a freshman is educate yourself on the recruiting process. Like I've mentioned already, you shouldn't be going crazy spending a ton of time on the recruiting process, but you should still start to develop a game plan. And to get a game plan, you need to have knowledge. So I recommend starting to educate yourself by watching videos like these. Shameless plug, check out my content on X, Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe here on YouTube for more stuff like this. You can also grab my customized scholarship playbook using the link in the description below. It takes you 30 seconds and will give you a customized game plan based on your unique situation. So don't forget to grab that for free. The third thing you want to do as a freshman is go to camps. Camps are an extremely important part of the recruiting process, but we aren't going to these camps just for recruiting. It's also for experience. You're going to get used to this unique recruiting camp experience, the atmosphere, how to talk to coaches, and more. The issue a lot of families run into is that they wait until their junior or senior year to start going to camps, but then they're learning this camp process when it matters the most. My recommendation is to start going to camps now, so that when it matters, you feel comfortable and will perform at your best. But make sure you're not traveling across the country. Just go to 3 to 5 local camps and get a taste. Plus, you may even build some relationships with coaches in the process. Fourth thing to do as freshmen, get active on X, formerly known as Twitter. X is where 90% of college football recruiting happens. So it is the place to be if you want scholarships. You want to get on there and start to craft your personal brand, showing coaches why they should choose you over any other recruit. So start to post things that coaches want to see: highlights, workout videos, grades, and recruiting updates. These things start to build a library of proof and brand you as a top recruit. Fifth thing to do as a freshman, develop as an athlete. As we talked about earlier, your film is your lifeblood, but you can't get good film if you're not good enough to perform. So make sure you're working hard on becoming a better player, because the best recruiting hack is being a dominant player on the field. Now let's go into sophomore year. This is what I call a ramp up year. You now built the foundation with your freshman year. You have the video to show coaches why they should even look at you. You're an elite player, you have the grades to back it up, and already you have a brand built up on X and feel ready to start attacking. Now, to be clear, coaches are not allowed to reach out to you until June 15th going into your junior year, but you can still reach out to them. This is the time when you want to start the outreach process. Using X and email, you're going to reach out to these college coaches, sending them over your video and giving them a brief introduction of yourself. Now, the goal isn't necessarily to get responses, responses is just to get on radars. Because although their responses may be limited due to recruiting roles and timing, they're still putting together their early boards for your signing class. Because no coach is waiting till June 15th to start recruiting a kid they like. To help with the outreach process, you're going to want to start becoming even more active on X, posting content that helps keep coaches in the loop. The goal here is to become more of an active participant, going from building to starting the attack and getting noticed by coaches so that you aren't starting from nothing when it actually matters on June 15th. Now it's time for junior year. At this point, you should be doing all of the recruiting activities that matter. You're getting known by coaches through emails, X, and camps, building relationships with those that respond, and starting to get closer to that first scholarship offer if you haven't gotten one already. Now, junior year is the big year. One of the reasons for this is because of how important junior year video is, especially for Division I schools. As most Division I FBS schools are going to have their signing classes close to 80% done by the time the season starts for your senior year. And Division I FCS schools will be close to 40 to 50% full by then as well. Meaning if you want to go Division I, you have to play well junior year. Otherwise, you may miss out on the opportunity your senior year. Or at the very least, you make it significantly harder. Throughout the entirety of your junior year, you should be continuing to do the recruiting activities I've talked about. Reaching out to coaches via X and email, going to camps, posting on X, creating new video, and most importantly, building relationships. Consistency is key here. At some point throughout your junior year, you should have your first serious relationship with a coach. I'm talking about phone calls, visits, and junior days. And I'm not just talking about a generic, hey, come to our camp. Real conversations where it's clear that they want you to be at their school. And ideally, if you're looking to get a Division I scholarship, you should plan to get one within the spring and summer going into your senior year. Finally, senior year. At this point, you've done the hard work. It's time to just finish it out. If your goal is to play Division I, you should already have an offer or multiple at this point, and maybe even be committed like Cameron and Jack are. If you're not, then it's go mode. You have to be doing everything you can to get coaches to know what they're missing out on, and increase the amount of reach outs you do as well as how many times you follow up with them. Leave no stone unturned. If you've gotten responses and they've stalled out, get aggressive by asking questions. A great one I like is, are you still recruiting? My grad year and my position. Also remember, you have other options. Just because you don't go D1 doesn't mean that you can't play at the next level. There's still D2, D3, NA, and junior college if you want to give yourself a second chance at the recruiting process. I went to junior college and it was a perfect fit for me. It gave me the opportunity to play early, develop, and go through the recruiting process again. It even helped me earn a D1 offer, which I ended up not taking and instead chose a NAA school because it was the better fit for me. Now, I don't know where you are in the process, but no matter what year you are, whether you're a senior or a freshman, you can still achieve your goal of getting a college football scholarship. You got this. Make sure to subscribe and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.